that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day the Red Hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. This is an excerpt from the I Have a Dream speech given by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at a march in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963. I chose Dr. Martin Luther King as my person with high leadership EQ. A person who has a high EQ will have personal competence. And with that personal competence comes self-awareness. And at times when most would be outraged by situations, Dr. King was able to quickly make sense of his emotions and control the situation. As we all saw numerous times in all the footage from the past, we saw situations where Dr. King was put into very precarious situations that most men would have lost control, or they would heckle him, or they would scream at him, they would actually get violent with him. But Dr. King had a very strong self-awareness. He understood that the world was watching him, and he was able to sit there and take everything that the people were giving him at that time. Dr. King also had self-management. And self-management was his ability to have the self-awareness, but not also have the self-awareness, but his ability to continuously direct his positive behavior when others with a low self-awareness or low self-management would have given up or acted out on the situation. His dream and his goal was not just one time, one act of self-awareness. His self-awareness continued and continued and continued because he knew his overall goal and his overall dream was to have equality in this country. And so he knew by not acting out and by continually being the person that set the example for others, he knew that his dream would eventually be realized, or he hoped that one day it would actually be realized. And as we've come to find out, he did a great job with it, and it worked. Dr. King also had a keen sense of social awareness. He had an innate ability to empathize with his crowd and listen to their issues. Dr. King was great at listening and forming an opinion only after thought, and he always seemed to be right in the middle of the situation. So rather than stand on the outside and listen and look and everything, Dr. King, when you watch the footage, he was usually in the middle of the people who were walking around. He was putting himself in situations. He knew socially that he couldn't stand on the outside and let other people do it. He had to be in the middle of the situation. He had to be there with the social people, and he was always good. And when someone said something to him, or when someone tried to be critical of him or of his cause, you could find him stopping, maybe scratching his chin or looking off out into the crowd and thinking about how he was going to formulate his response. Because he knew the response wasn't going to be a response just affecting one person. It was going to affect everybody who was watching him at that time. And finally, he had relationship management. Dr. King was able to connect with a large group of people, and he even befriended those who may not have liked him or who liked his goal. He understood that he may have had to become friends with people who did not agree with what he was doing. But those people, if he aligned with them, and they aligned with him all together, he would be able to accomplish his goal and have the dream and accomplish the dream that he wanted. For these 4 reasons, this is why I chose Dr. Martin Luther King as my person with a high EQ.